I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize, and I will get an honorary doctorate.
Hey, welcome back to Calling Home. I'm here with Siv Ngesi. This has been incredible because I've been chasing after him for quite some time to try and get him on the podcast on Zoom, and instead we are here live in Milan.
I'm so glad it wasn't on Zoom. I'm glad we waited it out, and I was in Milan. And I just want to say to people who are listening at home, and he has the most incredible setup, doing incredible work, amazing stuff, bilingual, doing amazing things in Milan. And I think South Africans go overseas and they do unbelievable things, and we're just like it's just normal that you're in Milan, one of the most fashion conscious places in the flipping world, with like the most competitive, and you're here dominating in a space that is huge.
I don't know if I'm dominating. Hey,
no, bro.
Okay.
I've been in the industry long enough to know anyone who has a space this big is dumb, and they don't even lock the door.
Nah, we don't lock doors here. It's all right.
Can you imagine?
You can hear people coming up the stairs. It's all right.
Okay, so thanks for having me, man.
No, it's a pleasure. Like really, we were just talking about it before. How it's incredible how South Africans are just super nice and actually do give access, even if somebody as successful as you are, because I mean I've been seeing like all the stuff that you produce. You're a movie star, you're a comedian, you are an entrepreneur, you have a lot of things to keep you busy, and yet you still, like, when I reached out, you're like, yeah, it's possible,
Let's make it work.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And you were saying this thing about South Africans overseas dominating. Okay, we do it. There's a reason we do it. It's because when you get here, everything is so easy. Yeah. All of a sudden. Yeah. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I have a friend of mine, I won't mention her name. She's been working overseas for like 5 years. Just transferred to a company in South Africa, same company. And she said, we are working here more than we work overseas by a country mile. She's just like, the workload is unbelievable. And another thing that I've learned is that in South Africa, you have to know multiple skills.
Yeah.
You can't just be good at one skill. You have to be good at so many skills that when you travel overseas, it's easy.
All of a sudden, you just have to do your job.
Yeah. So for me, when I travel and I work overseas, they were always perplexed by, like, if it's, like, when I got here, the lighting on my face wasn't bright enough. So I asked her, I was like, can you please light my face up? Like, in other places, actors don't know about flipping lighting. They don't know about all these. But in South Africa, you have to be good at multiple things because they will affect your career. We've had to be skilled at many things in South Africa. And
also, you can't just be one thing. Like, as a photographer, they told me when I was studying in Durban, they said, you can't be like a fashion photographer or an advertising photographer. You have to be a photographer. Yeah, whereas here, I am a fashion photographer. That's all I do.
Wow.
I might do like food every now and again, like in a fashion style. So, so it's great to be able to like learn all the skills and then just, if something goes wrong, you have all the ability to sort of catch up and fix things up. So cool. So what are you doing here in Milan?
So my childhood best friend, which I've known since grade 2, is a South African, proud South African Italian, and he lives in Milan for the last 5-6 years, I think. And he literally works here, bought a car, has an apartment, he has a passport, living here, really, really enjoying it. So I thought to myself, and I'll be truthfully honest, like, I love traveling to cities which I would have never gone to. Like, nothing brings me to Milan except him. And I'm glad I came. You can feel it's creative. People are well dressed. People are beautiful. People are healthy looking.
Well, you are here during Fashion Week.
Okay. I'm here for Fashion Week, but I have a feeling that fashion is in people's souls here.
Yeah. People are well dressed.
But one thing I have realized is that it looks like a lot of people they buy clothing to match clothing, and you can see that there's a thing, like someone has this particular style.
Oh, absolutely.
And they stick to that particular style and then swap their clothing amongst that style.
It's designed.
Yeah,
my wife, like, I don't, because I'm still a boy from Sheppy. Yeah. So at the end of the day, but my wife is very much like, she plans out her entire week, and she only buys things that fit into the other stuff. It's like constantly styling.
To my friend Ricardo there, I said, I can see everyone who's here, there's a plan.
Yeah.
And that plan was when you were buying it, you went, there was a plan. And
Absolutely.
I can see it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Anyway, we're here on the back of that fantastic Bach win from yesterday. You managed to catch the game?
I literally went into a pub that made me want to open up a pub called Offside.
Yeah.
All the South Africans were like, go there. Something about it. I want to open up a pub called Siv's. Like, literally Siv's. And we're going to Siv's.
It sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we're going to Siv's.
You don't even drink though.
Yeah, I don't even drink. But we're going to Siv's. We're going to Siv's.
Fantastic. So it was all good. You managed to get it, because I was like, maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't.
We literally booked a place early. Had Italian food at a Chinese Italian place. You know, it was good enough. And literally, man, it's been a great experience. Been loving Milan.
Cool.
And now I moved to Venice tomorrow, then Florence, then Rome.
Oh, so you're doing the whole tour.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing. Yeah. Fantastic. So this is where I'm going to get into the thing, because my podcast is called Calling Home, so it's South Africans reaching out to South Africans and just sort of figuring out what's happening back home as somebody that's been away for 20 years now. Rugby. The glue of the nation, or the wallpaper papering over the cracks.
It's so funny you say that. You're one of the first South Africans to actually. There is something that rugby does in South Africa, especially when we're winning, that it feels like when you have a cut and you put on this beautiful plaster for 3 months, and it does that. Look, even a couple of months ago, we had this whole thing about white genocide. There was the Trump, Elon Musk thing. There was we were at the Oval House. There was just a mess. And I tweeted, I said, we just need the rugby to go on.
Yeah.
Just need the rugby to go and everything goes away. And I think it's problematic. I don't think rugby is the answer to the problems of this country. I don't think it is, and I think we need to live beyond rugby and sport. For me, the middle ground of us, South Africa is great at when things are bad, we all unite. When things are good, we all unite. For me, the magic is in the middle. That's where we've got to fix that middle, and I don't think rugby is the answer.
It can't be, no?
No, it cannot.
Because it goes in waves.
Yeah, it goes in waves.
And even when we are doing so well and everything, everybody's so united, and that shows the possibilities.
Yes.
But then normality, it's like my wife. It's like we can't only be like happy when you're on holiday, and then during the rest of the year, it's all shit.
So rugby for me, is holiday for us, the South Africans. That Saturday is holiday. But interestingly enough, if you looked at how many people are watching rugby, it would shock you. It's actually not as well watched as we think it is. Soccer is by a country, but it's not even a competition. Like if you look at the numbers, they'll tell you 60 million South Africans. No, bro, 60 million South Africans are not watching rugby. No. Don't let them fool you. I promise you, if some rugby players walked through the township, no one will know who they are. It happens. But Mandela knew that sport unites people. Right? But he didn't tell us to only let sport unite us. You know what I mean? We have to have moments of being united when sport's not on. Yeah. But the beauty of it, we would rather have moments of unity than not.
Yeah, you need them. No? Yeah, you need something that is like a catalyst for this thing, and a moment where everybody's in a pub together watching the game, and so that makes us understand that we can hang out. And
we can.
Because then there's the Romans used to say bread and games. To keep the population united, you have to keep them fed, and you have to give them games to watch.
I like that.
And if you can have that, then you have everything. Right? Then the population will never uprise, and so now we need more bread.
Yeah,
we got the games. The games are doing fine. We do well with still knocks. We do well with the rugby. Yeah. The cricket's finally catching up. The soccer's good.
Oh, cricket! Imagine.
So it's all good.
I didn't see that coming. Yes, thank goodness at last.
So all good. So we're doing all right. And then we need bread. We need the economy to pick up, and then we'll be laughing again. Right?
You know what I want? I don't even know if this is possible because I'm not really good at this kind of stuff, but I feel like we should give incentives for South Africans to come back. I think there should be if you hire a certain amount of people, there's no BEE, and there's tax write-offs. They need to do something to make it juicy for South Africans to come back. If I was South African government, I would hire so many police. I would have a police at every single corner. Criminals must be scared to cause a crime because they must know that you will get punished. I think you mustn't only get punished when you poor. The rich must be punished as well. And I think he must make it enticing for South Africans to come back. Some way, somehow, it needs to be enticing.
Absolutely. And then that's something I've actually been talking to people here in Italy as well, because we have a problem. It's a thing in Milan where, like in my industry, people prefer to work with Parisian photographers or Londonian photographers or whatever. And to incentivize working local, it would be good to give tax breaks to anybody who's working with local teams.
Agreed.
So I think that would be ideal also over there. It's like to try and stimulate people coming back. So
Swing has brought a bit earlier. So French rugby, Japanese rugby, you can only pick so many internationals, especially Japan. That's improving their rugby tremendously. If you start forcing people and giving them reasons to employ locally, it will improve everything locally. You know what I mean?
Course.
And gives it incentives. But it's the same as back home. A lot of international directors and film people come in, and people want to jump to those jobs. You know what I mean? Instead of being able to build our industry even more.
Exactly.
But definitely, it'll
be so good. That's one of the things. Like, there's very creative people, but like the fashion industry is very like retarded is the wrong word. No. Backwards.
Politically correct. If you're retarded, you might be cancelled.
But it wasn't in that sense.
I'm sorry.
Late. It's coming late. I'm using Italian. It's delayed because I've got really good friends that work in fashion over there, and it's like it's all great, but you're missing the infrastructure, like the magazines, like a bit of everything, because in Europe you got the English magazines that push like ID and Dazed and Confused and all these kind of things. They really push the image of European fashion everywhere. What you need is like the same sort of thing happening in South Africa, where as the leader in Africa, like an African fashion magazine that's like really cool, really powerful. But that's going into fashion, which is frivolous. And it's fun, but it's like one of those things that doesn't save lives.
It's so funny. But for me, when people try and undercharge us as entertainers, you go back to COVID and how when there was no new entertainment, people were struggling.
Yeah,
art is needed.
I think so too.
Don't fuck with art. Like a lot of people like to, cut costs on art a lot of the times, but you don't mess with art. I know art doesn't feed, the poorest of kids or change. But I do feel like art's important. People need to realize that we are needed.
We are needed, absolutely, because it does show what's possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Art pushes forward the boundaries, the languages. It also pushes forward like any fringe group. Yeah. That is like, okay, let's see if we can help LGBTQ or whatever. It really does push these things, these issues to the fore in some way, which is very important. I think there's a phrase, RSA not DNA, okay, which I think is maybe like one of the most important phrases in South Africa at the moment.
Currently, it's for sure. I don't even know who designed it, who said it, but there are two things over the last 2 years. RSA in our DNA, and hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie.
Yeah.
And every South African knows exactly what that means. Like, they don't know what we know. And all of our DNA is RSA, like kind of a thing. And we're a passionate people. And I think one thing I think about us South Africans, we have such a vast difference in all our cultures that sometimes we're so different. Like, people don't realize, if you're listening to this, I'm Xhosa. I am totally different to a Zulu.
Yeah.
It's like an Italian and a German. Bro, we are totally different. Our languages might sound similar. There's some words that are the same, but we have different characteristics. We look different. We act different. We're known for different things. And I think South Africa, people don't realize those differences. And I think to come into South Africa, and as an outsider, a lot of people find it quite confusing to be in South Africa because we're so different. In English culture, the woman walks in first. In my culture, the man walks in first.
Right.
Who compromises? Do you know what I mean? In my culture, when a woman is fat, it's beautiful. In English culture, oh my goodness. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It depends on the period.
Yeah. but like, we're so different. But I think what brings us together, there's something that's special that brings us together, and I think we need to celebrate those differences as one.
Yeah, that's why I've got this thing where like I keep coming back to it of like a South African monoculture, like that supersedes all the single little cultures underneath. So we are first South African, and then underneath that, Xhosa.
We're Braai.
South African.
I think braai
Rugby,
for me. Everyone braais.
Love of nature, family, community. In some situation, like even spirituality, I think South Africans generally are very spiritual people. Whether you believe in a certain God or not, they still very like in touch with the ancestor or the God or whatever. So I think all these characteristics have become like a real South African trait, which you can sort of find a little bit everywhere. And I think if we can push this even more, that's maybe some
Yeah.
way to get forward, no?
I think the secret weapon for me is Ubuntu.
Ah,
Yeah, Ubuntu for me is what makes us South African. There's something special about Ubuntu, and I think for me, the way to describe South African is that. No DNA say that as well, but Ubuntu is that thing, and it's that same as hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. They don't know what we know.
How would you describe Ubuntu for somebody that doesn't not from South Africa?
I am because of others. I am because of others. You're nothing without others. It doesn't matter how much money you have, but if you climb to the top, you don't give back. You failed in my eyes. You know what I mean? If you haven't if you've succeeded and you haven't thrown the ladder down to bring someone else, you failed in my eyes. Yeah, man. It's Ubuntu for me. Is it?
Yeah, sounds good.
It is
fantastic. What are you working on now?
I've work-wise. Work is boring, man. Like celebrating work is the least. Like my work is a small. I want to be a father. I want to be a father. That's my biggest mission in life, really. To be honest, I want to be a father. I've always wanted to be a father.
How's that mission going?
That's the easy part. Finding a womb and the vagina. That's the easy part. Picking the woman who I want to do it with is a difficult one. The one who I said I want to be with you for 18 years. That, you know what I mean? Because 18 years minimum.
The one. Yeah.
Not with her. Because I have no ambition to be a father with a woman who I'm in love with.
Okay.
I want to co-parent. I've always wanted to co-parent. I've never had any ambition to be married. I don't believe in marriage. You have kids, right?
I have a kid, yeah.
How old?
7 years old.
Oh, my goodness. Great.
Fantastic.
Great. Girl.
Yeah.
I do not want a boy ever. I want a girl.
I told my wife that as well. It's like, I'm happy with a girl.
Yeah, so
I'd be in complete competition with a boy.
Yeah. Bro. So I want to co-parent with someone, which I have a person who's keen, a few people who are keen. And my mission on this earth is, I don't think I'll be remembered for being an entertainer. I think I'll be remembered for changing lives. I think I'll be remembered for being a father. Like they always say, the only people who remember that you worked hard won't be your bosses, won't be your colleagues. It'll be your kids and your family.
Absolutely.
And for me, I have all the ambition in the world to be a great father and to change lives.
That's phenomenal.
But for now, you know, I'm known for entertainment and stuff. But I have just opened a sanitary pad factory in South Africa, and we're producing about 400 to 600 sanitary pads per minute, over 216,000 sanitary pads per 8-hour shift. The numbers are crazy. My sanitary pad charity at the moment is distributing just over 1,020,000 sanitary pads per month, free across Southern Africa. So I have one of the biggest sanitary pad charities on the African continent, actually, if not the world. The other day I was in London. I had like a meeting with a woman who owns a sanitary pad charity. And I go there, I was like, I distribute just over 1 million. She was like, what? We distribute 20,000 a month and we're happy. Yeah. So that's the work that I do. That's the kind of stuff. I want to change lives and I want to see the world, man. I want to see the world. Like being able to I was in Lake Como, which is just incredible. One of the most beautiful sights in the world for me. And I look forward to seeing more of Italy. And I want to inspire people to want to travel. I've only seen 22% of the world, which is 44 countries.
Well, that's all right. Huh?
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
You're not even 40 yet.
I'm not even 40, but I need to see at least. I want to see every single country in the world. I want to be in every single country in the world. But man, I love it, and I'm inspired by what you're doing here. I really am inspired by what you're doing. I really, really am. Congratulations on what you've done, what you've achieved. I'm sure when you arrived here, there weren't many English speakers.
Yeah, no, there was very few.
And then what did you do? How did you?
Well, I was lucky I spoke Italian because my parents were they were very serious about me learning Italian. And my grandparents lived with us. So my grandmother only spoke Italian for 30 years in South Africa.
Lucky! So my best friend Ricardo, he had a grandmother. I used to call her Libra. Vivacious. Cooked, was Italian. It's like she just got off the boat. And even to the day she died, it's like she just got off the boat.
Mine came with the plane, but
you know what I mean. It's a figure of speech. But like truthfully Italian. And for me, funny enough, I have a rule that when I have a child, I don't care what colors they are, what mix they are, I'll have a domestic worker who is Xhosa, and she will only speak Xhosa to my daughter.
It's important.
Daughter.
You definitely need it. You need somebody like we have always had a babysitter here that is an English speaker, so that because they spend so much time with your kids, so you need someone that was keeping it alive. Because my wife spoke to her in English until she was 4, and then my kid was like, "No, Mom, you don't speak good English."
Oh, so you met her here?
Yeah. My wife is from Italy.
Nice.
So I basically met her right off the plane, and I've been here with her for 22 years now. So,
wow. Sorry.
Yeah.
You
Anyway,
arrived at English.
Yeah, I arrived here English. I arrived here with Italian, so it was okay. And then I did a little bit of a crash course learning how to, because my Italian was archaic. It was 30 years ago, So I had to catch up to what the slangs were to not sound completely like an idiot, and then just learn how to learn more words because you need vocabulary to be able to expound concepts. So that was my first thing, and I was lucky that because I was one of the few English and Italian speaking photographers or assistants at the time, I worked with everybody.
Wow!
So I worked with the director that did the Rihanna umbrella video and Disturbia. I worked with the photographer that shot the album cover. I worked with David Beckham for the Motorola campaign. I've worked with Dennis Rodman. I've done all sorts of really cool stuff because I was lucky enough to speak 2 languages.
Luck my ass, bro. You spent 30 years putting it together. Luck is for the unprepared, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I say it's luck because nothing. I could have been born in Iceland.
Then you could have been a Viking.
Exactly. So your geography changes a lot about how your life goes. Unfortunately.
So what do you think would have happened if you stayed in South Africa?
Well, I mean, I would have just been a photographer in South Africa. Probably would have ended up doing production in Cape Town or something like that. Just done a completely different career path. Or maybe my parents had restaurants, so probably would have ended up.
Okay, so you interview people all the time.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask you if you could change a few things about South Africa to make it a better country. What would you do?
I don't know. Okay, the first thing is that I would want. There's interesting concept in Holland where every time you do a new building, 25% of that building has to be public housing.
Ooh,
okay.
The white Capetonians will never let that happen, ever.
But imagine how good that would be.
They've tried. People have tried. They'll never.
But that's the first thing you need to do.
Okay.
The kids need to go to the same schools as the rich people. Doesn't matter what color. Just all those. All the private schools should have 25% underprivileged kids in the schools.
They'll never
do it.
Yep.
But that's what needs to be done. You need to be upskilling people from disadvantaged communities.
So before we carry on there, so Sia and I know Sia very well. Sia Khaleesi, if it doesn't know what I'm talking about. Sia said once, and I think Sia being so successful could be terrible for kids who are in the same position as him. Let me tell you why. The answer to South Africa's issues is not taking black kids out of black areas and putting them in white areas. The answer is to fix black schools, fix black communities, so they don't have to leave black communities.
True, but you need to do baby steps.
No, so you had to do baby steps, but his story will make people relax.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
So Sia, people don't know this, Sia was one of 3 kids to get scholarships. But they only supposed to pick 2, right? Sia's coach said, if you take those 2, you take that kid. Sia in these boxes playing rugby. Now, ask me what the other 2 are. Not playing rugby, one of them is dead. One of them is rugby. Now, tell me how that Sia Khaleesi thing, Damien Willemse, they gave multiple boys scholarships. Rupert is like Damon's father, like they're that close.
Oh, wow, okay.
He's the only one still playing rugby. Now, the answer is not just to take them out.
But that's rugby.
Yeah, I mean, but life in general.
Yeah.
You can't keep on taking kids out of black communities and putting them in white communities and hoping for the best. Now, taking them out and putting them into white communities is difficult, bruh.
No, of course.
5 days, and then you go back. Sia was going back into weekends, still going back to that lifestyle. So what I'm asking for, I'm not saying what they're doing. I'm saying still carry on doing what you're doing, but we need to plow back into communities, disadvantaged communities, colored, black, all of them.
See, the way I was seeing it, the way I was thinking it, is that it's a trickle down situation. So because of course the ideal would be lots of investment
So,
into underprivileged communities, and you build those up and everything. But if you can create a lot of seers in different avenues of work, so entrepreneurs, sports people, whatever, like seer does, he goes back into his community, builds up the community. So it becomes more like it's like a capitalist way of building the thing rather than a socialist way.
So 25% is beautiful. That's a dream.
Yeah.
Remember, seer was one of 3. So what you're saying is
I'm saying a huge, also it's a big group as well.
Agree that. So I would love that, right? For me, I totally agree with that. I'm not disagreeing.
No, but it's cool to be like.
So what I love that idea because 25% is huge.
It's a big chunk.
It's big, and that would definitely make a big difference.
Also because they would be able to keep their community in some way, but you'd also have to break that up in some way. Because of course, so you'd have to split the different classes.
Perfect.
You'd have to split the different housing and the boarding, whatever. So you'd have to have these kids become like 25% of each other. So it's a big thing because I lived this as an immigrant, a son of immigrants in Joburg and then in the South Coast, which is a farming community. So you can imagine it was quite closed, as far as mentality goes and everything. So we were the Italians, So I would feel left out, even though I was white and I would speak Italian and speak English, whatever. I was also very proud of being Italian, so maybe I was a bit of a dick about this.
I know. I can imagine. I've seen a lot of Italian guys back. They're very proud, like Italian shirts.
Of course. So I didn't make my life easy for myself, but at the same time, I was very much not part of the farming community. I was not part of that, so I had to integrate in some way. And the easiest way of doing that was, of course, sport and learning how to play the sports that we don't play as Italians, like rugby. My mom was like, oh my God, rugby, and all that kind of stuff. So that was really important to me. But still, the friends that you meet at school dictate how you go along in life.
Agreed.
That's why, like anybody that goes to Saks, has a bit of a
advantage,
highway,
hell of an advantage.
Because like my friends became mechanics.
Yeah, agreed.
And farmers and whatever. That not many of them went off to like travel the world and whatnot.
What else would you change?
So that's really 2 things that are quite big, I think. And then, Jesus. Do I have a magic wand or?
No. Anything.
Because ideally it would be like
you can do it.
I would take like 50% less corruption. Just if I could wave a magic wand.
You are a good guy. Yeah.
I don't want all. Because you can't take away all.
Steal as much as you want. Just do the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were stealing 95% and you were doing 100% of the work, just steal.
That's fine. Yeah.
No, agreed. That's a no-brainer.
That's easy. I think that would be the easiest thing to fix.
And safety?
Well, I think those things would lead to more safety.
Agreed.
At the end of the day, I think that's the thing. Of course, it is like utopian thought and everything. And of course, like the easiest thing would be like, let's all just get along, erase all the issues of the past and take away all that baggage somehow, and that would be like the magic bullet. It's like that when 2 people walk into a room together, they are just South Africans living their lives and whatever.
UBUNTU.
Rather than dealing with what all the people of my color did to all the people of your color did.
It's I think South Africans don't realize how we had such an unnatural thing happen. And I think it's quite difficult to rectify this, a minority, oppressing a majority, and then suddenly people forgave each other.
Yeah.
Then, because people always complain about BEE, like whatever you think about BEE, I'm not going to get into that. But what ends up happening is only a very small few benefit from BEE.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening, then the small few are prospering, but then the vast majority aren't prospering from BEE. So there's all these things that I think could be fixed, and I think there are a lot of things that education, safety, but I think a lot of South Africans currently are. I spoke to Musi today, Musi Mamani. Now, not a name drop, he's a very good friend of mine, but Musi said something today on the phone. He said, "I'm feeling disheartened about the country." I said, "Why?" He just traveled for the last week with his wife. Mm-hmm. He says, "I feel like I went to someone else's house, and his house has been run better than mine. And then I had to go back to my house. And I'm trying to fix everything. And it's just, I'm not achieving those goals." And I spoke to him today. He's very disheartened today about that. And I get it. I'm in Italy, bro. And there's something about Italy that I said today. Italy is not Sweden.
No, by any chance.
It's not London. Do you know what I mean? So it has a perfect balance between this first world run city, but I can see there are issues.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I mean?
course.
I can see but it feels attainable. It feels like And for me, being here has made me go, we could do this. We could do this.
Yeah, it's definitely more attainable to do an Italian model than to do a Swedish model.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's attainable, but like, there's something about immigration, I think conversations that need to be had, and I think we have an immigration problem as well, and I can feel here when I walk around, there is something happening here with immigration, and the conversation is a difficult one, because I think there is a nice way to speak about immigration, and then there are dicks speaking about immigration, but there is an intellectual way to speak about immigration.
You need immigration.
Yeah,
it has to happen, and at the same time, it has to happen in a controlled way, somehow.
150%.
It's just one of those things you can't have, like now in my class, of my daughter's class at school, there's a whole bunch of kids that don't speak Italian, at all.
And wow.
So how do you deal with that? Which it reminded me of 1992 when the schools opened and all of a sudden we had kids from the rural parts of KZN coming into the school, and they struggled, because of course it was a bit of a mission that time, but that was the majority, whereas here we are a net minority of people.
Yeah, for me, my view is, it's a difficult view. If your papers are correct, you can stay.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of South Africans, if we share this, I'll be getting a cack. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm in Milan now. I believe
you can stay.
I believe if your papers are correct, asylum seekers, and you get given the process to be able to fix the asylum seek, all that kind of stuff. But I currently, I think our resources are being strained by people who are there illegally, and I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. But the government doesn't have that conversation because it sounds anti-African.
Yeah,
and the DA can't have the conversation because it sounds racist. You know what I mean? It's like this whole vicious cycle. Then EFF can't have the conversation because it's anti-African, and obviously they're like very pan-African. You know what I mean? Then Konto Wesizwe can't. It's just like VVVA plus Konto because then they're racist.
That's the thing. That's the baggage that we were talking about before.
Baggage, bro.
So if you can, that would be the magic bullet.
Yeah.
Literally get rid of their baggage somehow. And which was they tried to do it. They went a long way to doing that with the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. It did alleviate that quite a bit. But there still, of course, is
there's a lot of cack.
What's Musi up to now?
So Musi Maimane, one of the greatest men I know on this earth. I'll start off by saying that. He's opened up a party called Bosa, Build One South Africa. It's got 2 seats in parliament, doing right things to really involve the community in government. So he's really involved in that. The only man I trust, the question is there a politician that you trust with your PIN code?
No, of course not, but not even in Sweden.
You know what I mean? I trust him with my life.
Yeah.
I trust him with my life. He's a humanitarian. And
but your life's not your PIN code.
Yes. But he's a humanitarian. Sometimes his biggest mistake is being a humanitarian. Sometimes politicians can't be such nice people. And for me, he's a humanitarian, and I feel like he makes me believe, and he takes it personally.
Yeah.
A great man. But I want to say something that I love my country, and I've always loved my country, and I always believe my country. I always plow back into my country. But I said something recently. South Africa reminds me of a 3-year-old. Now, when your kid was 3, and she gave you paintings that were beautiful.
Yeah.
She gave you paintings that were paintings of a 3-year-old.
Of course.
But when your daughter comes home at 12 years old, giving you the paintings that she was giving you at 3.
You know that.
It's a bit of a problem.
You start going to doctors.
Yeah, you gotta go to doctors. You gotta go get her checked out. You know what I mean?
Of course.
If she was potty training at 3 and not potty trained, but she was getting there, she's still doing the same thing at 12.
It's an issue.
It's an issue. We are 30 years old. We're trying to give people the paintings of a 2-year-old. We have so much potential, but we're 30 now.
Yeah.
We should be further. We should be doing better, and we can't be living on potential. And that's how I feel about the country. Yes, we're doing amazing things, but you can't still be giving me this painting. Man, what's this collage nonsense? We got to start painting pictures, beautiful pictures, the quality of a 30-year-old.
But you need the person that does that.
Agreed.
Yeah. So how do we get the person into government? We need Musi, because when he was with the DA, I was like, this is
going to sound like a bad, hectic example, but recently, someone very close to me did something that I expected them to do, and I set them up to do it, right? And it was an expensive lesson that I had to teach this person, right? And wherever they are now, they're hurting, right? And I want them to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all got to break. I think South Africa has to break. We haven't broken. I think we've been holding on and we haven't broken.
We've won too many World Cups.
Yes. I think it has to break. I think it all has to break.
Because it looked like it was happening when the riots.
No, man.
It looked like it was starting.
We are 17-1 to the dollar. How did we get to 17? We were 19 just now.
Yeah.
We've been 22 to the dollar. How are we 17? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it confuses me. Because we all expected it to go, and you know what I mean? But now, summer's coming. Then for another 4 or 5 months, it's going to be it's going to be nice. I feel it needs a break.
Yeah.
I feel like the lesson I gave the person today, it might be costly. But I think it all needs to break.
It hurts a lot of people.
I think it is going to break. I think it needs to break. And I think I currently feel, no conspiracy theory, but I currently feel the ANC knows they're in trouble. They know they're going to go below 40%. But what they're going to do is they're going to work with DA more. I've seen a lot of people saying very positive. The ANC, Gwede Mantashe, Figle, and Cyril have been saying very positive things about DA. Great run, whatever. Remember, DA does well, ANC does well.
Yeah.
Because they're technically the same party. Yeah. Right? I think they've sat down and said, let's start doing this. Because any vote that goes to the DA goes to the ANC, and ANC, they're the same thing now. They're a coalition.
But that's good.
So I think, I don't know. I think the GNU is important. I think there will never be one party to rule South Africa ever again. Right?
Like there isn't in Italy or European.
But I do think if it breaks, ANC loves power so much that they have to go into bed with EFF and MK.
Yeah, I know. I struggle. I've got this thing. I've got this thing about things breaking because I'm always worried because things break, cool, but then do you know how to put it back together?
I'm not saying civil war.
No, of course. But like economy, Argentina.
Yeah, no, I don't think I wanted to go that low. I don't think I wanted to get that low. But I do want the people of South Africa, to have had enough. I don't think we've had enough yet. I don't think we've had enough. I think no electricity must be on when the Springboks play. Just let Eskom fuck up during the Springbok game. During the game. That's not a stupid thing. That's a terrible example.
It's true.
Then you see.
Yep.
Bro, electricity didn't work. Christmas, there was electricity. Elections, during elections, electricity was back.
But even now, there's a lot.
No, bruh, they know, bruh. It's rugby season, bruh. When I say break, I think we as South Africans must have enough. Something inside of us must break. Bro, South Africans, if babies being raped doesn't break you, I can.
That's the thing.
Rape, murder, if that doesn't break us, something needs. And our resilience is one of our biggest problems, and one of our best and worst attributes of South Africans is the resilience that we have. But something needs to break, brother. I promise something needs to break. Like for example, if you were with your wife and you don't take out the trash every day, there will be a point when your wife will have something inside of her.
It's not even a point.
That will
straight away.
No. What I'm saying, eventually she'll be hurtful. One day you can say, I don't feel well. So you can say, but maybe, you know what I mean? But and I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm always on the positive side. I hope that it can happen in a more gradual sort of way, because I don't see what breaks us. We're really, like you said, we're so resilient that it takes a lot of something to break.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately we're just too used to terrible things.
Yeah. The more I travel, the more I love my country. The more I travel, the more I see the potential of what's possible. And the more I travel, the more it angers me to be able to see how they're fucking it up. I know enough to know that they're stealing more than you could ever imagine. And I know enough to know that we're in bigger trouble than the average South African knows that we are. Yeah. And I know economically we're in bigger cack than the average South African knows that we are. So when I say break,
it's going to be...
It can happen.
Yeah, Zimbabwe.
No, I don't think we'll ever get there. And I think one of the reasons why we won't get there is because the West loves us.
Yeah.
The West, they want to come to South Africa. They do want to, they don't want us to fail.
Cape Town's too nice.
Yeah, I don't think the West wants us to fail. But I do think I think we could fix it. I think we could turn it around. But I do think it's interesting to see if Helen wins mayor of Joburg, to see how that happens, how that works. Then there'll be an election. I'll see how that works, and then there'll be another election. I want to see what happens in the next election.
Yeah,
not the main election.
It's going to be interesting. No, but it's like, what does Quarter say always? South Africa's a movie during the watch party, right?
You film Mzansi.
It's crazy now. It's nuts. But yeah, so let's get it light. What are your dreams? What is for you, like personally?
For my dream?
About children.
My personal dreams.
Yeah.
I want to end period poverty. I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize, and I will get an honorary doctorate. And
in what?
Honorary doctorate for one of the men to fight period poverty.
No, but I mean, like, what in gynecology?
No, bruh, I'm not going to study a single day.
No, that's what I mean. Like,
I will not pick up a single pen.
But when they give you an honorary doctorate, it's usually in a subject.
I think my subject would be if men bed once a month, sanitary pads would be free, and I will, and I say it now, and one day you will show this video one day of me being in Milan. And I will have an honorary doctorate, and I will win a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's gonna be amazing.
And the funny thing is, when I say to people who know me, they laugh and the laugh is, "This motherfucker is gonna do it." My friends go, "This son of a bitch is gonna do it."
Absolutely.
And so my mission, literally, I want to end period poverty, and I'm going to end period poverty shortly. Nobel Peace Prize, and I will get an honorary doctorate, and people will call me doctor. I will correct everyone who calls me Siv Ngesi. They will call me doctor, and I want to be a father. My biggest mission is to travel the world with my kids, and when my kids are learning about Italy, to be able to come to Italy and teach them while I'm in Italy. And when they're learning about the pyramids, I want to be in Egypt, learning and teaching them about the pyramids in Egypt. And I want to be happy, and I believe that discipline equals happiness, and I want to live a disciplined life, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be happy, and I want to change lives, and I want people to look at me and go, "That man over there changed my life," and that makes me. Blockbusters, all that bullshit. Yeah, well, that's side piece stuff.
It's a means to an end.
Yeah, that's jokey stuff. But the missions, they're the missions for me in life, and I just want to be happy. I just want to really be happy, and I want to see people around me be happy. But if I die tomorrow, I'm happy, man. If I die tomorrow, I am fulfilled, and I've lived a great life. Like today, I was traveling with my friend throughout Lake Como today, and I had like stories come up of all my travels, and I lost my mother 3 years ago. If I die today, I'm content, and I'm happy with what I've done, and I'll get a posthumous
Nobel Peace
Prize and a posthumous doctorate.
Fantastic, dude! From your lips to God's ears.
Bro,
not on the death side.
No, bro, it's coming. Can I tell you? So, can I tell you what my definition? I don't believe in religion, but my definition of hell. My definition of hell, for example, my friend Ricardo and I, as we go, I always argue with him that he likes taking parking spaces early, and I go, no, I want to risk it. Let's risk it. Let's go further.
Let's see if we can get right.
Let's get further, right? Let's get further. Let's go further. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to get closer. And my definition of hell is meeting the man I could have become, and on my deathbed. Being on my deathbed, and then they have to bring the man I could have become if I took more risks, and I did more, and I was more disciplined. And I want, when I am on my deathbed, I want that man to be the same man that's lying there. And if he isn't the same man, that's my hell.
Incredible.
But yeah, man. But like, bruh.
That's an amazing goal for anybody. Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day.
Who's your role model? Who inspires you? Who's your muse?
I don't have a role model. I tend to take bits and pieces from people. Yeah. Even what you just said, I'm going to take it and keep it.
Steal it.
And I'm going to take, I read this thing yesterday from this philosopher who said that the reason that politicians are all evil men is because you have to be the only natural predator of humans is other humans. So to be to keep your humans safe, the worst ones had to get to the top, and that's why they're the thing. So things like that just stick in my head and just stay.
Can I challenge you and then go and tell you that one of my heroes is my future self and the potential that I have the potential that I have, right? Do you not think 20 years ago when you arrived in Italy, do you not think that the man 22 years ago, do you not think the man that you are today, you would have aspired, you would have dreamt to be and have what he has now, a 7-year-old married?
I was very scientific about it.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was going to be here.
Yeah. But did you know you'd be this successful? Brian, this is,
yeah.
turn this camera around, Brian.
Absolutely.
This is ridiculous.
Absolutely. This not to have this is a bit like you on the deathbed.
Yes.
So I knew it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a dream.
Yeah.
Like that's why it wasn't like it couldn't be a role model because I was already there.
So you
I was in the Tesseract.
Okay. No, I love that fucking shit. But I want to tell you that for me, I want to give you props because I know how difficult it is to be a freelancer and to be able to keep this going, this space. So I want to give you props for that.
Thank you very much.
And I love what you just said about that. You always knew it was coming. You always knew it was coming.
No, there was no other choice.
It's either I don't find that parking bay later, or I have to reverse down a one-way. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I'm going to the front. Over there, and I'm going to find the parking bay right in the front there.
And even if I don't, and I have to go around, it's fine.
I'll go back.
I go back.
I'll
Try it again.
again.
It's all right.
I'll try again.
And I'll find it. By the time I get back, somebody's moved out.
Yeah!
It's all good.
Like sometimes when I don't find a parking bay, I'm almost like...
That's weird. That's never happened before.
And I just wait there like... And some people call it arrogance. I call it surety.
Yeah.
I'm sure as fuck.
Absolutely.
And but not everyone's going to love that.
But you exude it.
But first of all, I want to say proud of you, proud of everything you've done. So glad to meet you. I love the story. And next time I come to Milan, will I come to pasta at your house sometime?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have to do it for sure.
For sure, man.
Dude, thank you so much.
Bro, really
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Mad love and
Fantastic.
respect to you, man.
All good. That died, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Sure, brother, man.
Incredible. Thank you.
Sure, man.